Good morning everyone, how are we doing? Welcome to another fishing video. We are back. Man, it's been what, 3-4 weeks since I've been fishing. I've had quite a bit going on. I'll go into that a little bit later. It is Bank Holiday Monday. What is the actual date today? It's the 26th of August. It's Bank Holiday Monday. Originally there was 4 of us going fishing, but a couple went out last night and had a couple of beers because it was Bank Holiday. I didn't drink, I was on the night shift, so no drinking for me. And my mate Kyle wasn't drinking. So me and Kyle are going fishing today. It's currently 5 to 8 in the morning. Kyle is picking me up at 8 o'clock. We've got a little bit of running round to do. We need to pick some bait up. Kyle wants to get breakfast from Greg's. I need to get to my mum and dad's in Bradwell to pick my rods and that up. It's all in their garage at the moment. Long story. And then we are heading down to Tramps Alley in Corton. That is the plan. We're going to Tackle's Den to get our bait. That's the guy's name. His name's Billy Seaman. He's got a Facebook page called Tackle's Den. I normally get bait from Pownalls and Gorse Tackle Centre, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure what time they're even opening today because it's Bank Holiday Monday. But I know that Billy, he opens early, he stays open late. I know if you've got a big special trip planned and you want to pick up loads of bait and rigs and all that, he'll even make an exception and literally whatever the time is, he will just open up for you and let you come and grab what you need. Kyle gets his bait off him all the time, and last time we went fishing, he had some lovely lugworm that he got off him. So that is the plan. I need to get some hooks as well. I've got a couple of my traces, I've been using them 2-3 times now, and I'm pretty sure the hooks are pretty blunt, so I need to put some fresh hooks on. Everything's just thrown in the tackle box from last time I went fishing 4 weeks ago. I had a disaster. Yeah, and hopefully we do okay. Again, it's still pretty hit and miss along this Norfolk, Suffolk coastline. I've been reading reports and you might have a couple of guys go fishing for 5 hours and catch nothing. And then 2 guys were fishing 100 yards up and they were there for 5 hours and they've had out a few smooth vans and a few bass. Sole, been a few sole being caught. Weaver fish apparently at the moment are everywhere, which I know they're not the greatest of things to catch, but they are on my species hunt list. If I get a weaver fish out today, that'll give me a tick. And obviously if I do manage to get a sole out today, even a flounder, again, that'll be a tick off my hunt. I need to start getting some ticks. I think I'm on about 7 fish and we're now in August. So I need to catch it up. I think G and Paul are now, I think they're on about 9-10 fish now. So I need to catch up. Right, I'm literally gonna go downstairs, jump in the car with Kyle, like I say, a little bit of running around to do. So I'm guessing by the time we get to Tramps Alley, it's probably going to be about 9 o'clock-ish. So I will see you when we are down there. Welcome back. Today's fishing. Let's go and catch some fish and let's have an awesome day. Right, I'll see you guys soon. Right, so here we are. Corton, Tramps Alley. We've come down the alley, which is over there near that pole. Normally we go to the right hand side, but you know what, before we give it a little bit of a change today, we'll come to the left. Low tide was at 8 o'clock this morning and it is now 10 past 9. So the tide is on its way in and it comes in quite fast here as well, so I'm going to pull back a little bit. I'll show you me bait and all that I got in a minute, but when I was in the tackle shop I was looking for a lead lifter weight, so I wanted to use a pulley pennel. They didn't really have any of the weights that I normally use. There's a guy down there metal detecting. He just walked straight up to me and he goes, "Hey mate, I've just found this on the beach." He goes, "Any good to you?" Look at that, 6-ounce lead lifter. Exactly what I was looking for in the tackle shop. And he's just found one on the beach. So if that ain't a good sign, I don't know what is. Right, let's get all this set up. Like I say, I think I'm gonna have to put some new hooks on one of my traces as well. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be blunt. Kyle's setting up just that side there. There's another guy fishing. He's about 300-400 yards right up that direction. I think we're going to do all right today. I think we're going to do all right. Right, let's get set up. Come on. That metal detector guy, he come back up to me. He found another weight on the beach as well. I think I sold my metal detector last year. We hardly used the thing, and I thought, oh, fucking, I might as well sell it. I took it down cash converters and sold it. I wish I'd have kept it now. Probably could come down here and got all my weights. Right, I've got a 2-hook flapper on this right hand side. I'm going to put a whole squid on there. Luckily, pulley pennel. Right, pulley pennel rig, I'm going to put a whole squid on. I've got a 2-hook flapper rig here, and it's all done, all nice, brand new, fresh hooks, which is what I was hoping. I weren't sure if I had any fresh ones in there or whether the ones were old rigs and I had to put some new hooks on. Right, all I've got to do now is get some bait. I want to check this worm out as well. We went to that tackle den, it's called, run by a guy called Billy Seaman. I got a packet of hooks that were £2. I bought a couple of weights. They were £1 10p each for a weight. and I got 50 lug, I think I paid a £5, something like that, more tenner, maybe a tenner, I don't know, I can't remember what I paid, but it's pretty cheap. But I'm going to check the lug out now. Let's see what this lug's looking like. Oh my days, look at this lug, look. How fat the lug is, look. Oh my god, the juice that's going to be coming off them is going to be unreal. Right, let's get these on some hooks and let's get this in the water. Woo, look at that. Right, here we go, 9:30, about to do this first cast. So we've got a whole squid on the pulley pennel. On the 2-hook flapper, I put a bit of squid on the bottom, and we've got one of these fat boy worms on the top. So I'll see what's being taken, because sometimes the fish might go for the squid or it might go for the worm. But I have got 50 of those worms, so I will start using them regardless. Right, let's get these out there. Right, there we go, that's my first cast in about 3 weeks, and my god, that felt good to cast that out. I've cast a little bit to the left, the tide run is really strong, really strong. Kyle did cast a little bit to the right, but even his line's starting to pull over a bit, so I thought, right, if I go to the left a little bit, that'll stop us getting snagged up, and I ain't going to get caught with no one. The next guy, like I say, he's a few hundred yards up there. So the last time I was fishing, me and G went fishing, and I said on the camera, well, we didn't do too bad, we had a few fish. I need to go to Lidl, do a bit of shopping, go home, upload the video, blah blah blah. Anyway, as I left the beach, I was driving to Lidl, massive cracking, clump, loud banging sound from the back of my car. My suspension gave way on the car. The whole coil spring on the back of the car just collapsed and folded and fell to the ground. That's what happens when you buy a sort of cheap run around car. I paid 600 quid for that car and I've had it 2 years. It was looking at about 450, 500 quid to get it fixed, more than what the car's even worth. And even if you do pay to get that fixed, do you know what, next month something else goes wrong, and the next month so I was like, do you know what? So I scrapped the car. I got £240 scrap for the car. So that car's cost me what, £200 a year for the last 2 years. Do you know what, you pay 200 quid just to bloody rent a car for a couple of days, do you know what I mean? So to get a whole year's worth for 200 quid. So I no longer have a car at the moment. I'm in the process of kind of like get some money together to get a half decent one. So Tubbsy that comes fishing with us, he has lent me a mountain bike. So I'm using the mountain bike to get to work and home from work, but I currently don't have a car, which is quite tricky for fishing, especially as I don't have storage at mine. So I keep all my fishing stuff at my mum and dad's in Bradwell in their garage. Hence this morning why when Carl picked me up we had to go Bradwell to get all my fishing gear, and just absolute hassle. And again, like even last week me and G were going to go fishing. G was going to drive, something come up. Oh, we have people viewing the boat, so the boat that we purchased is now sold. We've sold the boat. Like I say, we hardly really used it. G went out on it a couple of weeks ago, him, his missus and the kids. They had a whole weekend. They went out Friday, they stayed on the boat Friday night, they'd done Saturday, stayed on the boat Saturday night, they came back on Sunday. But we're hardly using it, and we are not going to be able to get it out for the sea. It needs an extra like outboard engine on the back. It is a river cruiser, it's not powerful enough for the sea. So the next plan is, if we do get another boat, we're going to make sure it's a proper kind of sea fishing boat that's able to get us out to sea and do fishing. So the boat is gone, that's sold. Like I say, car's gone. All I've got is a mountain bike. So yeah, hence why I haven't really been fishing too much. Carl's just reeling in. I don't know, I think he's got 2 hooks on there. Looks like one of his hooks has still got the bait on there. Looks like the other one's been stripped. but we will see. And like I say, I got squid on one and worm on the other, but fishing has been so hit and miss. Again, we might be down here today for 5-6 hours and not catch a single fish. It's just the way it goes. And yeah, we could come tomorrow and we could be catching fish all day long. It is really hit and miss here at the moment. So all we could do is get the bait in the water, which it is, and hope for the best. And I am back. Massive thanks to all those. There's people who've been worried. People are actually quite concerned. They've been messaging me on my, so I've got a Facebook group, which is Great Yarmouth and Galston Sea Fishing. And obviously I've got the YouTube channel, which is Dave Harding Beach Fishing Adventures. But people have been messaging, they're like, "You alright buddy, everything okay? Haven't seen a video for a while, hope all good." Everything's good. I just haven't got a car, haven't got a boat, and I've got a mountain bike. Other than that, everything else is absolutely tickety-boo. It's all good. It's all good. Be even better if we get some nice fish out today. I want to get out. I wouldn't mind getting a nice size smooth found out. Like I say, there's been a few sole are being caught, and loads of people have been moaning about the amount of weaver fish that have been coming out. But I wouldn't mind a weaver fish just to get it ticked off my species hunt list. Get another one ticked off. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on these rods, and hopefully we are back soon with a nice fish to show you. Well, the left hand rod was having a little bit of movement. There was a little bit of bite indication on there. I watched it for a bit, then it went again, so I've reeled in to check it, but all the bait had been stripped. There was no bait on there at all. So I think we might have a bit of crab action going on out there, because Cole reeled his in. I think one of his had bait on and the other hook was stripped, and he reeled the other one in and that was stripped. So I think we got a bit of crab action out there. I reeled in the pulley pennel. The tentacles on the squid, they'd been like gone, but the actual main bit of the body of the squid was still on there. So the pulley pennel's gone back out of that whole squid. Left hand side, I've put 2 of those worms on there. Like I say, I've got 50 of those worms today, and there's nothing worse than getting to the end of the day and you've still got a few worms left. And so I'm thinking, right, get the worms used up first, and then once the worms are used up, then obviously I've got a bit of squid. Like I say, there's 2 guys up. When I said there was a guy up there fishing, there's 2 guys, but they're too far away to see if they're pulling anything out. I can't see all the way up there. And since we got here, another guy has turned up, and he's gone to the right hand side of that slope, which is where we normally go. By the left hand side, I was reeling it in and it got caught on a snag. I was sorry, the pulley pennel, it got caught on a snag. And I was like, what? But I hit the reel in reverse, give it a bit of slack, then I walked to the left and reeled it in, and it comes straight in. So I think there might be something out there, only about 20 yards, straight in front of me. But when I reel in the next one, I'll find out. It could have just been something on the seabed. Like I say, you'd be surprised when the tide comes in and goes out what it can wash up. But when I reel in, I might have to put my cap on soon as well. Weather forecast this morning was saying sun and sort of overcast with a bit of cloud. But that sun is out and that is absolutely blazing. And I've just checked the weather app on my phone, and that is just saying pure sunshine all day. And I've said it before in these videos, my face goes bright red when I'm in the sun. It's alright that evening and the next day, but at the actual time, man, I literally look like a beetroot. So yeah, the cap might be going on soon, protect me a little bit from the sun. And I just want some fish to get on this bait before the crabs get on the bait. But the crabs can move along. Do you know what I mean? We've had it before where the bait's getting stripped and stripped and stripped, and give it an hour. Them crabs that are out there, they've moved on. They've gone somewhere else and they're feeding somewhere else. So just because you're getting crabs stealing the bait, it don't mean the crabs are going to be there all day long stealing bait. Like, they can move off. I just want to get a fish, man. I want to get a fish. Like I say, I caught last time we went. What did I have out? I think I had a little tiny baby smooth hound, and I think I had a whiting. And the time before that I blanked. I think the time before that I blanked, and the time before that I think was when we was in Devon, and we blanked all week in Devon. But like I say, it's not me. It's not bad being a bad fisherman. It's happening to everyone, all up and down the beaches. Who's that group that do? I forget. There's a group that do a competition. They normally fish on Pakefield Beach, and normally when you read the catch reports, the person in first place is normally pulled out like 5, 6, 7 fish. And even on there, first place has got like 2 fish, and second place has got 1 fish. Right, left hand side, what is going on there? That had a right good bounce just now. And we got a boat turning up. There's a boat out there. And we keep an eye on that left, because that just had a good little bounce just now. and it's hard to tell. Normally the rods I use are both the same rods, so if the wind moves the rod, they both kind of move. But I still need to get my other rod repaired. I broke one of the eyes on it when we was down in Devon climbing up that bloody mountain. I'm going to say a mountain. A lot of people down there called it a cliff, but to me that was a mountain. So I need to get that down Galston Tackle Centre and get Jason to do a repair on that. So at the moment I'm still using one of my dad's fishing rods. So because they're different rods, my dad's one's got a bit of a thicker tip than my one. Whereas normally they're both the same, so if there's a bit of wind they both normally move. But just because that white one's moving don't mean there's a fish, it just means the breeze might be catching it a bit more than the other one. If that makes sense. It makes sense to me, I know what I'm talking about. Of course I know what I'm talking about. Professional fisherman, aren't I? I'm thinking of putting that on Facebook. See, on Facebook I've got my job title down. I might actually change it and put professional fisherman. Professional blanker. Or something that rhymes with blanker. Oh man. But you know what? It's good to be down here. Like I say, 3 weeks of not fishing. It's just good to be down on the beach, casting that out in the water. It is good, it feels good. Well overdue. So let's have another little quiver there, but it could be crab action. It could be crab action. Right, we'll keep an eye on it anyway. And we're off. We pulled ourselves a little dab out. It's that little dab, he ain't too bad a size. Top hook's totally stripped, no bait on that. And the dab, he's taking the worm on that. Right, we're getting off and we're getting back in. Whee! We haven't blanked. Hey, we haven't blanked. How about that then? Right, tide is really racing in, What I might do is, I might move this stuff back a little bit. Have a look in my box. If I've got some of those crimp bits I use, I might make up a 3-hook flapper trace. Take the pulley pedal one off and put a 3-hook flapper out there. And then have one of those hooks right down the bottom, underneath the weight. What happened then? The whole rod rest tried to go then. What's going on there? That left hand side is pulling. Yeah, that's the plan. I might change the pulley pennel for a 3-hook flapper and have the bottom hook right on the bottom underneath the weight for any like flatfish. Like I say, I'm hoping to get a sole out today. If I can get a sole out, that'd be quite good. I'll be quite pleased with that. Right, let's move some of this stuff back anyway, because this tide is racing in. That can't be a seal. Look how close he's coming. Yeah, it's his dog. I was going to say that can't be a seal. Right, I just snapped off. I was having a bite on that left-hand side. I was reeling in. It got really stiff, really tight, and then yeah, I just bloody snapped the line off on the left. Nah, nothing, mate, nothing. Yeah, bloody left-hand side's just snapped off. Oh my god, what the hell? Right, I'm gonna quit those hooks I bought earlier. I'm gonna quickly put 2 fresh hooks on a 2-hook flapper and get that out. I just need to check if I'm just gonna see if I've got a spool with some shock leader on it as well. Right, we're getting somewhere. Do you know what? Those packet of hooks I bought this morning off that Billy Seaman from that Tackles Den, I've lost them. Man, when I've took everything out of the carrier bag this morning, they've obviously gone on the beach somewhere. You know what it's like, man. You drop sand on the beach, that's it, it's gone. The only hooks I've got were tiny little hooks. Right, I've done a 3-hook flapper on the left with tiny little hooks on this one. We've got squid on the top, we got worm, and we got worm. And that's above the weight, that one. Right hand side, 3-hook flapper. I had one made up, luckily, with like nice hooks, bigger hooks. And this rig ain't been used, thank God for that. So we've got squid on the top, we've got worm there, and then we've got this bait right down the bottom, that's below the weight. Right, let's get this out there, come on. Wasted enough bloody time already, come on. Right, we're out there, but again, that left hand side, as soon as I cast that left hand side, the line is pulling so hard, it's pulling the tripod up. It's pulling the tripod up out the sand. Why is that one pulling so hard? Yet the right hand side one ain't even pulling. That's just up in the air. It's not even like at an angle, it's just up. But the left hand side, I don't get why that left hand side, let's get some sand around here. I don't get why the left hand side is pulling as hard as it's pulling. I mean, there's no weed out there. If there was weed out there, yeah, I get it. It comes to weed to catch you around the line. It's put in the line, I get it. The tide's on its way in, so it's not even like the tide's going out and it's trying to take the weight out with it. The tide's coming in. So why is that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I had to put a new spool on that because obviously the other one went with the shock leader. So I put a new spool on, new shock leader. I put a 3-hook trace on there, but only had them little tiny hooks. That is what it is. Right hand side, I did have a trace with some bigger hooks, which, like I said, I've put on. What's the time now? I must have just wasted about half hour doing all that. Look at that, it is 11 o'clock. What time did we start fishing? 9:30? Yeah, and I must have been fishing to about 10:30, and I've literally just spent about the last 20 minutes bloody sorting all that out. I don't mind as long as I'm catching fish. It's when you've got all that going on and you're doing all this and you're not even catching fish, that's when it's bad. So I just need to start getting some fish out now. And this is what happens, you see, when all my stuff is around my mum and dad's. Because normally if I know I'm going fishing, a couple of days before, I'll go around there, I'll grab my tackle box, I'll sit at home, I'll make loads of fresh traces up, I'm all ready to go. But because the box has been in their garage and I literally only picked it up this morning, I didn't know what traces were there, what traces weren't there. It's not like I can just go over there on the bus, get the box and bring it back on a bus. I'm not going to bring it back on my bloody mountain bike, do you know what I mean? Oh, see, this is what I'm saying, like I need a car, like Cole's reeling in. Oh man, what can you do? Smile. What can you do? And it's getting hot out here as well. It was meant to be the sun out, clouds, overcast. Man, look, that cloud up there. There is a little bit of whispery cloud, but it's not enough to block the sun. The sun is just absolutely like blazing down. Right, Cole's just reeled in. He's got nothing on there. Right, come on, at least give me some fish. After all this hassle you give me, at least let me get some fish out, please. Well, I've had that dab out, but do you know what I mean? I want some decent fish out. My left-hand rod looks like it's having a little bit of a murmur. Now the tide's coming in, the line's obviously pulling to the right now. We're pulling to the right. Yeah, left-hand side, that was a knock, I think. Cole's snagged up there. Oh, there's nothing worse than beach fishing and getting snags, isn't it? Snags are just the worst thing ever, I think. I'd rather like sort of crabs having a chance of getting the bait and fighting amongst them with the fish to get the bait, rather than getting a snag. Do you know what I mean? You get a snag, you just lose everything, don't you? And if you ain't got traces made up like I haven't, then every time you're losing it, you just got to make traces up all the time. This is what happens, like I say, when you don't get a chance to get your tackle box and make like some bloody 6, 7, 8 good traces up ready for your day's fishing, do you know what I mean? Well, keep an eye on that left. If that wobbles again, we'll reel that in and we'll see what's on there. But again, could be crabs. But then when I got snagged earlier, I was pretty much straight out in front. Now the lines are pulling to the right. Hopefully I'm going to avoid that snag that's right in front of me. Hopefully. Did you get it free, Kyle? Yeah. Oh, right, Kyle got his free. He walked up the beach a little bit and managed to put it round whatever it was he was snagged on. See, maybe we should have gone to the right where we usually go. But then who's to say, do you know what I mean? We weren't going to get snags there neither. Like I say, every tide is different. Every time the tide comes in and goes out, it rolls all the bottom of the seabed. It could churn anything up on the bottom of that seabed. So it might have been under there for 10 years and it churns the bottom up, and then whatever that is, bit of metal, bit of wood. Do you know what I mean? And normally if other people have got snagged on something before, all their lines are caught on it. So you could get caught on someone else's line, do you know what I mean? That's been out there for a bloody year. Snags. I hate a snag. Right, left hand side, what are you doing, man? You're not doing anything now. There's 3 worms on there, do you know what I mean? That's not doing anything now. It had a little glitch, but now it's totally quiet. Right, I want to have a bit of my drink, I think. Oh, that's good. I'm going to have it in. Let's have it. I knocked a little bit there. Let's just have a bit. We'll put you there and we'll see what's on there. Probably nothing. I'm going to move up, Carl, I think. I might move up a bit, man. I'm getting snagged right out there in front of me.
Getting snagged?
Yeah, I might move up a little bit. I've got a little pout in. Right, I might move up a little bit because there's something right in front of me that's just snagging me. Right, we pulled out a little pout in. Tiny little pout in. Right, we're getting off, we're getting back in. I'll say I'll move up. There's people swimming in the sea up there now. Right, let's get this fish off and we'll have a think what we're going to do. Well, I've just reeled the right hand side in. Look at that, look, squid is tugged all off there, been tugged. No bait on there, no bait on there. We have got a boat out there, literally, I don't know, 500 yards, and he has got a trawling net the size of I don't know what. So he is just like pulling everything out of that sea, isn't he, with that net. Look at it, mate. Massive net dragging back. Right, I was going to go out that way, but there's people in the sea fishing. So what I might do is I might move past Cole and go right up in the middle with that. Them two groins that are up there, because I'm not going to sit here all day. I'm not going to risk losing any more gear. Right, let's do it. Let's make the move. Right, I've got to be careful where I start pointing this camera now. So that guy that was swimming in the sea, I thought, oh, I could go a little bit closer up to him because he's quite far away. Then he got out the sea, mate. The guy's in there swimming naked. He's about an 18-year-old man and he's naked swimming in the sea. I've just set up here, right behind me. You can't see him now. He's in the bushes. There's some bushes there. There's some legs sticking out. The other end of them legs, again, is like some 80-year-old man who's literally just walking around with his todger hanging out. Oh man, what the... Right, anyway, I've moved up past Cole, past that red bollard, fresh bait on there. Come on, let's get this out. I'm trying to avoid the naked men. What the hell, man? Like what? Oh, mate. Right, we're back out there. We have cast out. Hopefully, do a bit better here. What is the time now? It's now 20 past 11. I mean, you think we got over at 9, yeah? I fished till... What did I fish till? No, 9:30 we started fishing. Fished till about 10:30. Then I had all that commotion up there. Then that was about 11, I cast back out. Then I decided to move everything down here. So, mate, do you know what? I've been here like 2 hours. And I think I've had about 5-6 casts, like literally. And considering I've only had 5-6 casts, and actually so far I've pulled out a dab and I pulled out a pouting, that's not too bad. The sun is getting too hot for my liking though. It weren't meant to be like this today. When the weather people, man, do you know what? I've said it before, there's only 2 people in this world not to trust. And that is the weatherman and that is a politician. Never trust a politician and never trust a weatherman. And you can't go wrong. Weather this morning. Yeah, it's going to be warm, but very cloudy, very overcast. Well, this ain't overcast, man. This ain't overcast. What is going on? We find the only nudist beach in Suffolk. Is there loads of women running around? No. There's just... Mate, what the hell is that? Some dragonfly thing. Is there women? No. We're just fucking like 18-year-old men running around with their bloody codgers hanging out. They're codgers, mate. You want to see them. Well, you don't want to see it, but I'm not being funny. Billy Seaman, don't get me wrong, them worms I bought off you earlier, they were massive. You got nothing on what that geezer over there's got, I'll tell you. Jesus Christ, oh mate. That's going to be saying I ain't going to get out of my head for a little while now. It's going to be one of them. I'm going to wake up in the night screaming, I think now, after seeing that. Oh my days. It was all... Oh mate, let's not get into it. Otherwise I'll get a restriction on YouTube. I'll get a restriction, they'll ban me. Right, we've cast back out, we're out there, we've got fresh bait on there. Sand spike is nice in the stones, so it's not tipping up, it's not moving. Let's just hope we get some fish out. Like I say, Kyle has had that little tiny pouting out, and he's had nothing else. I had that little tiny pouting out. At least I managed to get a fairly decent dab out. But he's been non-stop fishing. He's been fishing. You think of all the grief I've had. Like I say, I've only had about 5-6 casts. I've been messing around, trying to sort all this other business out. Man, I have such high hopes for today. But the day is not over, so you never know, do you? You never know what we are going to pull out of this water. I'm trying to look this way, but I know what's going on over that way. And it ain't pretty, I'll tell you that. Oh my God, it ain't pretty. Right, let's keep an eye on these rods. Oh, left hand side's having a little ding about. But again, there's still crab action. Crab action over there as well. There's still crab action going on, so that's not helping. Have you guys missed me? have you actually missed me, or were some of you thinking, oh thank God he ain't been on our screen for 3 weeks? Well, I'm back. Oh my God, he's standing up. Jesus, keep the camera this way. It's like a windsock over there. Put it this way, I know what direction the wind's blowing. I can say that now, the wind's blowing that way. Right, come on, give me some fish. Well, here we go, something a little bit different. We pulled a dogfish out. It went all slackline. And I thought, oh, is it like lost the bottom on the weight? And then it started knocking, then it went slack, then knocking. Yeah, reeled in, and we got ourselves a dogfish out. Right, not bad. Right, we're getting him off and we're getting back in. Eee. Well, we definitely haven't blanked today, that's for sure. What we had? We had a dab. He weren't a bad sized dab. Weren't the biggest I've had, but he weren't the smallest neither. Pouting, alright, yeah, he was tiny, baby little pouting. But that dogfish, he weren't a bad size, he was alright, he was. And I say, it was enough to lift the weight off the bottom, because it went slackline when I pulled it. It went slack, so he's lifted the weight off the bottom and he started swimming in obviously towards the beach. And he's made it go slack, and then it went tight again, so that's why I thought, oh, it's just lost the bottom. But then as I was reeling in, I was like, nah, there's definitely something decent on there. So there you go, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. What is the time at the moment? I think high tide's 3 o'clock. What's time now? It's now 12. So we've got 3 hours till high tide. See, look, that left hand side's doing exactly the same again, look. Bounced up, gone slack. And it's pulled tight again. That's what it done last time. Then it went slack, but then when it went tight, it was knocking and knocking and knocking. You could see it knocking last time. Yeah, high tide is 3 o'clock. Nice bit of cloud coming over that sun now. When the cloud comes over, it is absolutely perfect, because it's still really nice and warm. It's really nice and hot, but you're just not getting hit by that direct sunlight. And it is absolutely perfect. Keep an eye on that, because if that knocks again, I will reel in while the camera is rolling. But last time you can see it was on there, because like I say, when it went slack a bit, but then when it went tight, it was banging. You can see it banging last time. We keep an eye on it for a second. We will see what happens. That's all quiet. That literally probably might have literally just like lost the bottom, especially the way the tide's coming in now and it's really putting it at an angle. If there was a fish on there of a decent size, that would definitely be banging. Right, let's keep an eye on his rod still, and yeah, I just want to get different species out today. Like I was saying, man, I've had dogfish out, that's ticked off. I've had dabs out, they're ticked off. I've had pouting out, they're ticked off. Carl caught a whiting about 20 minutes ago. Again, I've got whiting ticked off. I need to get something I haven't caught a bass yet this year. I've hardly had any time to get down that river spinning. That's normally where I do well for the bass. I've not been down the river at all. I've not had a bass out, that would tick one off. Like I say, a sole would tick one off. There's been a few coming out. And I keep saying it, even one of those like dodgy little weaver fish everyone moans about. But again, it would tick something off the list, wouldn't it? Right, come on, give me something new, please. Hey, well there we go, double whammy. We've got a whiting on the bottom and a little pouting on top. Tiny little pouting's coming out. Whiting's not a keeper size, there's no way he's keeper size, but still something different, innit? Something different. Right, we get him off, we're getting back in. Just reeled the right hand side rod in, and we've got another little pouting on there as well. Again, no size to him, a little tiny one. Right, we get him off and we get him chucked back in. I think that's what the birds are after. There's loads of like seagulls and that out there, and they keep sort of diving in, jumping in, coming back out. Loads of them. And I think that's what they're after. I think they're after these little poutings. So what have I had out? I think I've had like 4 species out, have I? I had a dab, I had the pouting, and dogfish. Yeah, and a whiting. Yeah, dab, pouting, dogfish, whiting. 4 species. Cole just pulled a dogfish in a little while ago. I heard him shouting, I looked up and he was putting a little dogfish in across the beach. Well, I say little, it wasn't a little one, it was a fair size one. And everything I've caught has been on worm. I've caught absolutely nothing on the squid bait at all. Nothing has taken the squid. Everything has been caught on that lug. So I'm quite glad I went down that tackle den this morning and picked some fresh lugworm up. Otherwise, if I'd have been on the squid, I think I would have totally blanked all day. I bought 50. I think Kyle had 100. I think he had 100 worm. I picked up 50. I'm getting through them though. They are sort of wilting down a bit. But we are getting on a bit as well now. What's the time now? It's got to be 12:30ish. They are 12:26. And we started fishing at what? 9:30. 3 hours. Do you know what? It seems like I've been fishing longer. 3 hours. It feels like we've been down here about 4 or 5 hours, something like that. It's only been 3 hours. That's quite surprising, actually. Yeah, like I say. Well, at least we're catching. At least there's a few fish coming out, a few different species coming out. I just want to get some species, the new ones, to tick off my list. Well, just pulled out another dogfish. Nowhere near as big as the last one I pulled out. Tiny one, baby one compared to the last one. But still, dogfish is a dogfish, isn't it? Yeah, little one. Right, we're getting him off, we're getting back in. Well, Kyle's doing alright down there. He's just reeled both his rods in. He had a dogfish on one and he had a little baby smooth hound on the other. So that'd be nice to get a smooth hound out. It was only a little one, but again, even if it's just a little one, that'd be 5 species I've had out today. So if the smooth hounds are about, I mean, it'd be nice to get a big smooth hound out. Oh man, so the size of some of the smooth hounds I was catching last year was absolutely ridiculous. To get one of them out, so I've just loosened the clutch on both them reels a little bit. If the smooth hounds are coming in and a few of them big ones are coming in, I mean, they just pull the rod right over, they just pull the whole rod rest over. So I've loosened the clutch a little bit. I'm going to do it again, just another little couple of clicks on each reel, just in case anything of a decent size does come along. Come on, give me another species. Give me 5 species in one day. Getting greedy now, aren't I? Well, it's just gone 1 o'clock, so we've got 2 hours till the high tide. Both rods are sort of knocking about a little bit. I'm just debating what one to reel in first. I think if anything, it's probably just little whiting or little poutings on there. But we'll have a look and we get some fresh bait on. Whatever one knocks first next, we will have him first. But I think there's something little on both of them. And the same as usual, as soon as you put the camera on them, they stop. Kyle's reeling in down there. Yeah, he had a nice dogfish out a little while ago. It was a fair size one, man. He held it up when he was down there and it was like, yeah, decent, man. And then he had that little smooth hound out. That's what I'm hoping for now. I mean, even if it is a little one, like I say, at least it's just something extra in it. At least it's what makes it 5 species in one day, doesn't it? Keep my eye on him, see what he's putting out. Right, I want to go for that left one as well. We'll pull that left one out, we'll have a look. Probably be nothing bloody on there. We are on. To reel that in. Oh, as soon as I struck it, I knew we were on. Oh, look at them. I've had bigger fish. I've had bigger fish in a fish tank. I knew we were on as soon as I struck it. Right, let's check the right hand side. That's on. It's got to be a doggy, I reckon. Feeling the fight. Because the tide's rushing that way, it's trying to take it away from me. It might not even be that big. I think because the tide's trying to take it a different way. Should probably be enough to pick out. Oh, look at him for a whiting. Mate. Oh, look at that for a whiting. Oh, do you know what? That felt like a bloody dogfish or something coming out. The size of him, look how fat that body is. I thought that was a doggy coming out. Right, let's get him off quickly. Now that, boys and girls, is what you call a whiting. Look at him, mate. Look at him. He's the fatness to him. Right, we're getting back in. We're releasing. Look at him, Carl. Look for whiting. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, buddy. I hate dropping the fish, I hate it. I know they're fish, they're quite robust and they're quite rogue. But man, look at that for a whiting. Hey. Oh man, I tell you, because of the way he was fighting, because the tide's running out that way. So I'm reeling him in against the tide that's pulling him down. And at first, I thought he was a dogfish at first. So obviously he's put up a bit of a fight, but you know what, I wish I'd have measured him up now as well, because although I've got a whiting ticked off on my species hunt list, I'm still obviously writing down the biggest ones I get. So at the end of the year, I want to know what is the biggest size whiting I've caught throughout that year. I'm trying to think what that one was I had out. Was it 38? I don't know. I'll have a look at my bit of paper when I get in. I have had a big one out, a really big one, similar size to that, which I have written down. So he may not have been bigger than that, but then he may have been. I don't know. It was just the fatness, the chunkiness to his body. Sometimes you get whiting and they're quite long, but they're really skinny. There's nothing to him. But he had a real fatness to him. I mean, he's definitely keeper size. And them ones are kind of worth, if you are going to cook whiting, keep them to cook and make fish cakes or fish fingers or even cook it as a fillet. They're the ones you want to keep. I know 27s are keepers, but some of them 27s are like, but if you're going to keep one, that's the one you're going to keep. But Cole's just pulled a whiting out as well. Yeah, mate. They're the ones you want to keep. Well, it's coming up to 1:30. I was just checking with Carl how much bait he's got left. He said he's probably got about another hour's left worth of bait with the worms. I think he's down to about 20 odd worms. I'm down to about 10 of those worms. But I just said to him, I've been using worms on all 3 hooks because I've been catching nothing off the squid. And yet that whiting he's just caught that on squid. So once my worm's done, I'm going to have no choice. So I mean, like Carl's got about he said about an hour's worth of bait left. I've probably got about, do you know what I mean, another, well, I got about 10 worms, so another like 3 casts and that'll be my worm done. So I'll have no choice then. I'll have to like turn to squid for the last half hour or so, but might have changed. I might be biting on the squid, do you know what I mean? That's the thing with fishing, it all changes. You think one thing, you think, oh, squid ain't biting. Carl puts a bit of squid out, pulls a white in him. You just never know, do ya? That's what I love about fishing. That's why I like sea fishing. I've got a few mates like Si and that, they love the freshwater fishing. He goes down the lake, what'd you catch, Si? Caught a carp, didn't I? Caught another fish. What'd you catch, Si? Oh, I caught a carp, didn't I? I don't care, people. It's good, you still fish, isn't it? If that's what you like doing, that's what you like doing. I prefer the sea fishing, because you just don't know what you are going to pull out. I mean, sometimes you have a rough, but even then, I thought that was a dogfish coming out. And it weren't until we got there, and it weren't. It was a big, fat, stinking, chunky whiting. I couldn't have predicted that. I thought it was dogfish. The way that was fighting, I was like, yeah, doggy all day long. And it turned out to be a whiting. You just never know what you're catching until it comes out on that surface. I think with rays sometimes, I think when you get on a ray, you kind of know, because as you're bringing them in, they tend to like kind of burrow down more. Dogfish, whiting, things like that, as you're reeling in, you see them pop up on the surface. But the flatfish and the rays and things like that, they tend to try and stay a bit down on the bottom. You won't really see them until you get them right up on the edge. I still want a new species though for my species hunt. I either want a bass, a sole, or a weaver fish. But I don't care. It'll be a tick. Another one of these tiny little poutings. Absolutely tiny. I'll tell you what, if I had a fresh water fish tank at home, I'd put him in a bucket of water, I'd take him home and I'd put him in my fish tank and I'd give him a name. He could be Pete, Pete the Pouting. Right, we get him off, we're getting back in. You're going back, Pete, don't worry mate, you're going back, Pete. Well, I'll just reel both of them in. Obviously you saw my mate Pete, brought him in. Left hand side reeling in, just got caught on a snag. Loosened all the line, walked to the left, walked to the right, walked up and down, done the okey cokey, went in, went out, shook it all about, everything you could do, line went. So, like I say, you just never know as the tide's coming in, you just don't know what it's rolling in with it, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to cast the left one back out now, I'm just going to stick to the right hand one, but I'm going to put some shock leader on it so it's ready for tomorrow, hopefully. Like I say, Lee and G were meant to come fishing today, they didn't come in the end. It's a shame really, if they did, we definitely would have seen some more fish and may have even seen some different species come out. But I've just been talking to G and he's on about going to Nest Point tomorrow, Lowestoft. So you guys might be lucky, you guys might be getting 2 videos in 1 week. How lucky is that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some shock leader on that spool, so at least that spool's all ready for tomorrow. Yeah, just keep an eye on this right hand one as well. Right, that is us done. We've just called it a day. It got really quiet the last half hour or so. No bites, no nibbles, no nothing. Carl was bringing nothing in. I was bringing nothing in. Like I say, we got here at 9, half 9. What is it now? 2:30. So we've had a few hours, but we've done all right. So, I mean, there was a guy messaging me just now and he goes like, he's been fishing dunnage, very slow up there, hardly anything coming out. And I said like nothing too great coming out, but we've been catching, haven't we? We've had 4 different species, had a nice sized whiting, that was good. So it is what it is. Better than blanking. Always better than blanking. So yeah, so you might be in for a treat this week. You might be getting 2 videos. Once we get up in the car, I'm going to give Kyle a ring, give Grant a ring. So what I might do is, instead of going to my mum and dad's to drop all my fishing gear back, I might have to take it straight to G's now. And then if we're fishing tomorrow, it's already there. We ain't got to mess around picking it up again tomorrow. Forward thinking, you see. It's what happens when you're intelligent like me. Right, to those that kept messaging asking when's the next video, sorry for the delay, but like I explained earlier, quite a bit going on, especially with the car and the boat and etc, etc. Hopefully back to normal now. Like I say, hopefully every Monday start getting a few more videos back in. Been a good session, but all in all, ain't been too bad. I've enjoyed it. It's a good day on the beach, good to get the rods out. So like them guys up there, they got their rods out. Yeah, all in all, it's been good. Right, massive thanks for watching the video, guys, and I will see you on the next one, which might be uploaded in a couple of days. You might see us at Nest Point tomorrow, Lowestoft. We'll find out. Right, sorted. Nice one, guys. Catch you soon.